I guess members know that as a norm, we're still going to have a thorough discussion of the crime statistics. Here, we're just getting highlights. I'll therefore allow members to ask at most 3 questions each, and we'll see how far we go, taking into consideration that we will still have a chance to discuss in detail those crime statistics. Honorable Sheikh Imam, followed by Honorable Whitfield, followed by Honorable Meshwe, then Honorable Majosi. At most 3, you are not forced to ask 3, but at most 3.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and allow me to thank the Minister, Deputy Minister, Commissioner, and the Department for their presentation. Very quickly, could you tell us how many arrests has there been made on deaths of police officers in the country? That's the first thing. The second thing is this: it is very clear that alcohol and drugs plays a major role in crimes that are committed. What additional interventions are you making? Like, for example, speaking to local authority, restricting the opening times of taverns and things of that nature so that we could deal with them. Could you tell us how many arrests has been made in light of the fact that last year 91,000 children gave birth to children? And we know in many instances it's statutory rape, if you see what's happening even in the schools. So if you can just tell us what you're doing about that and how many arrests have been made. Plenty more, we'll discuss it in the next meeting. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you. Honorable Whitfield.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and thank you to SAPS for the presentation. I think I just want to highlight the fact, Chair, that in the last quarter, there was 1 police killing every 3 days. And this is an indicator of a society that no longer respects the rule of law. And I want to just pay my condolences to the families of those police officers and to the senior management of SAPS. I think we need to acknowledge that there's an attack on the state from violent criminals and obviously on the citizens of the country. And I think this just underscores the importance of adopting a whole of society approach. And as we see in the crime statistics, South Africans are increasingly unsafe in their own homes. And so my question really for feedback at the next meeting, Chair, is how SAPS's community in blue policing strategy is working and how we are actually capacitating CPFs. The other question, Chair, is it would be useful for us to get a report, and I don't expect the feedback now in this meeting, but a report from SAPS in terms of enforcement of the Liquor Act insofar as illegal liquor outlets, taverns, shebeens, and any other establishments in our communities. And then lastly, Chairperson, the third point that I wanted to raise is that not only are South Africans feeling increasingly unsafe in their homes, our children go to school and are subjected to the most horrific forms of crime. And I would be interested in getting a feedback from SAPS with respect to their collaboration with the Department of Education and what strategies are in place to assist the Department of Education to support our schools to create safer environments for our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Whitfield. Honorable Meshwe.
Thank you, Chairperson. May I also take this opportunity to thank the Minister and National Commissioner and all those involved for the stats that have been presented this morning. And the first question has to do with the increase of police murders. My colleague Whitfield was correct that this indicates that we are living in a country where lawlessness becomes the norm, because when people attack police, they attack the state. So my question, based on these attacks on police and murders on police, is whether the police have been, or the investigations have revealed the reasons for these attacks? Are the police who are being killed mainly detectives, or are these killings alcohol related or even drug related? What appears, it could be a perception, to be the main reason why police are under attack? And the second question has to do with rape at schools. Are the police able to tell us whether these rapes are taking place during the day or night? Because if it happens during the day, the children who are aware of these should be subjected to counseling. So is there any counseling happening in the schools when a child is raped at the school? And my particular concern is to see that 5 of the rapes were done by strangers on school premises. The question is, how do those strangers access the school premises where there should be security? And then the last question, burglary at religious premises. Now, can the police tell us the percentage of arrests that have been made? Because at times we hear that crimes have been committed, but no arrests are made. Are the police successful in arresting the perpetrators, or what can we be told regarding how many arrests or the percentage of arrests that have been made for burglaries taking place at religious premises? Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Abamfundisi. Honorable Majosi.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning to all honorable members, Minister, National Commissioner, and all subs. No, I think we are on the same page, Chair. We are raising most similarly the same questions. And also mine would be to welcome the stats report that we've just received now. And it gives us a clear picture of what is it that we are faced with. But I think the matters of police is very alarming now. And what I would want to know, maybe it's similar to what Honorable Ubabu Mishwe has said, what could be the cause of these matters, and where do these matters take place in the areas where they take place? Is it the same areas, and maybe areas of hotspots, and what measures are being taken to make sure that if there was a number of certain police officers who are put there, then they increase that, so that we eliminate the killings of police officers. And also with the fact that what Honorable Mishwe has spoken of in terms of school, I'm just curious, do you categorize as well matters or GBV that will happen in a workplace, or do you just take it as a reported case, or do maybe victims do not say that this happened at a workplace? Because I've seen that at least you've drafted for institutions, schools, and you've also aligned that schools, teachers, and so forth. So then it helps us to have a clear mind. Also, remember, we are advocating that in a workplace there shouldn't be an abuse of positions and people asking sex for work. Do you get such cases, or you've never had them, or you just don't categorize them, you put them as cases maybe of rape and so forth? So I wanted to check with that also. And I didn't get the category of maybe murders and rapes and what that will be happening in police stations and so forth, where maybe a police officer will be involved and so forth. So I didn't get that. If it was presented, please, I apologize, but I didn't get that category as well. I think many other issues we will deal with them when we're in a committee, but I'm happy that at least Gauteng it's now putting a decrease in numbers in terms of car hijacking and murders and so forth. So it helps. And also, a National Commissioner, can I ask, in terms of these house breakings and so forth, and people being asked for money when they like, do you check maybe in your investigations, is it South Africans who are doing mainly that? What is happening? And do you get that maybe other people like foreigners do that as well? Because there's a video that is circulating of a Zimbabwean that was found with a lot of cell phones, where they were mugging people and so forth. So do you categorize that as well? Because I didn't get that, but if I could just maybe get that so that we get an idea of what is it that exactly we're dealing with. But in overall, thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Majosi. Honorable Golding.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Morning, Honorable Members, Honorable Minister, and all officials present. First question. With extortion, I only saw extortion listed as it pertains to kidnapping. In the broader presentation, is there further breakdown, specifically as it pertains to prospectively tenders these days? Because we're obviously picking up a lot of extortion to building industry and the like. Is there further breakdown there? I would like to touch on the causal factors then. We obviously seem to have a big problem tied to alcohol. What are we hoping at a intervention side there that will change that? It looks like we're going to have to legislate something there. First one. Second one, on the causal factor. Minister, if I look at the numbers, in the Western Cape, the single largest causal factor of murder is gang-related. The single largest in the whole country. It accounts for 166 of the 193 murders gang-related in the country. Minister, in your budget vote, you indicated you were going to look at technical spend. Now, we mentioned body cams the other day, but you definitely mentioned ShotSpotter. In your budget vote, you indicated that there was funding allocated at that. Now, these gang instances tend to happen in geographic areas which are defined and contained and can be monitored. Is it the intent of SAPS to further roll out and subsidize these technical interventions which will aid in the reduction and monitoring of this gang crime and this murder? Thank you, Chair. That's all.
Thank you, Honorable Golding. Honorable Minister, we're in your hands together with the National Commissioner and your team. Honorable Minister.
Thanks, Chair. Chair, I'm sure we are all taking note that some of the questions, the members were putting them in advance so that we are able to answer with a thorough discussion that is going to follow, especially from Honorable Member Whitefield, who I think quite a number of questions put it on the advance to be prepared as we'll be called by the Portfolio Committee to come and discuss further on the matters. So we'll take note on that. Direct question, Iman, Honorable Member, of how many officers arrested. I'm sure the National Commissioner and the management will work on that. Chair, the liquor issue, I'm sure alcohol issue will have to open a broader discussion, maybe as we discuss going forward. I hope and I know that all of us were aware of the battles that are going on in Limpopo as we speak, where the provincial government is trying to work on the matters of alcohol and the industry, fighting back and all that. But the crux of the matter, Chair, is that we are not helped by different levels of authority in terms of dealing with alcohol. Is one area where really we believe that the integrated approach of government can work at the provincial, local, those authorities that are supposed to be dealing with the alcohol matters and all that, the sticking on the times at the premises where these things happened, the compliance, the young children, the times of closing and all that. It is a problem. The liquor is a problem. These numbers that are given are those that are known. But Chairperson, there is so much that will be rape, murder, that could not be related to alcohol, yet alcohol is part of it. The issue of alcohol in the country, I think we need to look at it. Now again, Chair, when there was a semi-looting or little looting during the taxi problem in Western Cape, they broke in tops rather than any other place. There were a few fridges taken and all that, but the real place that they broke in is tops, which tells you that South Africans and alcohol is one area where all of us and all other structures will have to look. We'll have to look and work together on those. Chairperson, I'll go to Mr. Golding. Last question of the gangsterism and crime generally and technology and using technology to police. Yes, we did speak about that budgeting. Indeed, Honourable Member, we have trained quite a number of the drone pilots, and we have already launched and we bought some number, not enough, but I think in the country we've just bought more than 30 drones where we have begun to use them to police around those high density areas and all that. But we are also on that one working with municipality. One municipality that would have worked with us on that one will be Gauteng, but also private security companies. We are working together on this one. Also, what we are working on are the short stoppers, where we can determine where people have been shot, where the shot was done, and all that in the shortest possible time. We're also working with municipalities on that. That will be Gauteng and the Western Cape. But also we are increasing in working on the Safer City with monitoring of CCTVs and all that. Western Cape and Tegwini were working quite closely on those. So we are increasing this thing of technology. Not yet there, but indeed we have taken some few steps in using technology. We hope that will be helping us going forward. There was one question about the bringing on the communities. Members will remember that for the first time ever, we have budgeted about 70 million that will be working with the community structures under the CPFs, and all provinces have received their allocation, and we hope that money will help to enhance the better working relationship and enhancement of the equipment that the CPFs will be needing, things like cars, things like torches, and all those things that have been lacking to assist them going forward. So it's one area that has been taken serious, the area of working with communities, CPFs, communities in blue, neighborhood watch, and all that. So first time we've budgeted for that. Chair, I would then give the other questions to the National Commission and the team to take us forward. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. National Commissioner.
Thanks, Honorable Chairperson and honorable members. Yeah, on the question, the first question of Honorable Sheikh, will come back with the answers because it requires specific figures. I open my camera, but I'm not sure why am I not visible.
You are visible. You are visible, National Commissioner. We can see you.
Thanks. Okay, thanks. With regard to the community in blue, we do work with them. They work with the CPFs, and we work together with them. So, as the minister said, they will also benefit from the 70 million that we have allocated to province. That money has already been dispensed to provinces, and a guideline in terms of how to use it has been sent to provinces, so they are busy spending it as we speak. As South African Police Service, we do have a memorandum of understanding with the Department of Basic Education. And that memorandum is a collaboration memorandum. And we do work, assist certain schools where we allocate a police official to visit school. But of course, Honorable Chair, as you are aware, our numbers at police stations are quite dwindling. But we do have, there are areas where it is working quite well, where schools have been visited. If there are problems, there are arrangements that are put in place for such schools to be raided, searched with either police and or with police dogs also. So that collaboration is still standing. Motive for police killings, it varies. They are killed on duty and also off duty. General Libya will fill in on this one, but they are killed either in most cases for their work, and sometimes even when they are off duty, they get killed still for their work. But General Libya will add on that one. General Skukuni will come in on the rape at schools, and of course also the arrest on religious premises. Honorable Meshwe, we request that we come back with those precise answers. We might not have it now. With regard to arrests, in terms of housebreaking, we arrest both local and foreigners. We do not categorize in terms of the arrest whether the person is local or is a foreigner. Our system do not, but both local and foreigners are involved in this crime, and in various areas, especially Gauteng and also Limpopo. Mostly you find foreigners involved in house robberies and house breakings. I think let me ask General Libya to come in, and thereafter General Skukuni. Thanks, Honorable Chair. General Libya.
Good morning, Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, the Minister of Police and the Deputy, the National Commissioner and my colleagues, and the members of the media. With regard to the arrest of those who are killing police officials, I need to indicate that during the quarter under review, 24 suspects were arrested for the offenses of the killing of police officials. The cases are on the court roll as we speak. With regard to the reason for the murder of a police official, they vary. And I think that the General Skukuni might be able to elaborate more, but we have observed that there are areas when weapons are being targeted. There are times when there are disputes at some liquor outlets. There are those who are targeted while on duty because of the nature of the work that they are doing. Suspects usually target them. There are also some few areas, incidents where it seems that a family relationship might be triggering the killing of some of the colleagues. Some we have observed very limited number where it could be related to some sort of spousal encashment. So those are the comments that I need to be making at this stage. Thank you very much, honorable members.
Through your Honorable Chair, General Skukuni.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and National Commissioner. General, may I suggest that we respond when on the 30th, because for now we have a fair idea in terms of where it instances where the victims and the perpetrators were learners. Most of those crimes happen during the day, like for instance during break or during study sessions, etc. But for the rest of the others, we cannot confirm for now whether they were in the afternoon or what have you. But then we can go into the details, and then when we respond on the session that is scheduled, we can then give a detailed breakdown in terms of whether it was during the day or after hours. But again, we can only confirm instances whereby it has been indicated that the time has been indicated as to whether it was during the day or not. But if it is not indicated, we wouldn't necessarily invent the times and the day. Thank you, General.
Thanks, Honorable Chairperson.
Thank you, National Commissioner. I still see hands. Are they new hands or old one? Honorable Majosi and Golding. Or seemingly they are old hands.
Sorry. Okay. Just to follow up there, I did request feedback on the extortion. Was there a further breakdown as it pertains to prospective tenders and the likes versus just kidnapping? Just to answer that question, yes or no. Thank you.
Okay, National Commissioner, Minister.
Thanks, Honorable Chair. General Skukuni, can you take this one on the breakdown of the extortion?
Thanks, National Commissioner. For now, we did not go into the details of the issues of the tenders and the breakdown, but then we will try to look into the information that is available on the systems and where it can be established what were the causative circumstances around the crime. We will gladly provide those on the scheduled date. Thank you.
Thank you. For Majosi.
It's a legacy hand, Chair, sorry.
Oh, it's a legacy hand. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thanks very much. I think we are moving towards
Thanks
the
for
end.
legacy.
Yeah. Thanks very much. I think we're moving towards the end of our meeting. And we want to thank the Minister and National Commissioner, General Livia, and your teams for coming to brief the Portfolio Committee. Like I said, we're still going to have a thorough discussion of the crime statistics in our next meeting. Honorable Minister, you are parting with.
Chairperson, as you have said, we will be coming to brief and have discussions. We would really urge that those briefings, we will always ourselves be open to the suggestions made by the members, including the members of the community. There are quite some comments here that come from the members of the community or people that are not part of the PC, which will follow, especially quite several of them from Western Cape. So we'll try to take everybody on board that have suggestion. How could we go forward? But Chair, those things and methods that we believe they are working, we'll follow them and try to enhance them. Or we do look like we are beginning to get some green shoots in some other areas. That does not put us near the ideal place where we're supposed to be. But clearly there are some directions that we'll have to follow to go there. Again, we were quite heartened by the members when it comes to the matter of the members of the South African Police Service. I think we will be looking at the area, but the motive is almost similar. That those that they do their work, they will be silenced by the criminals, either on the place of crime, on the scene, on the crime scene, where there is an encounter, where there is the shootout and people taking on the police instead of giving up and all that. But the new one too will be to ambush the police. Maybe, Chairperson, as we come back, the General Libya can help us, because it's a responsibility of the Hawks to look those criminals that chase our police. Maybe because there is some successes on the arrest and quite a long sentences for those. Maybe it could be the part of showing and giving us the response, and those that have been arrested maybe getting more motive. So the discussions from our side is not just to tell the story, but it's also to find the answers going forward. And we believe we'll be working together with the portfolio committee, but also with the members of the community, so that at a certain time we are really dealing with the crime situation. Chair, I must make this point. It has for a very long time, matter has never been green. Maybe this trend of going down is completely insignificant, but it has started, maybe ended in the year 2012 and all that. I don't want to count the COVID time, but it has been a problematic area that we have lost the trend. You remember, it was always the trend of going down, but somewhere 2012, 2013, we began to lose the trend where we went up again. We hope that we'll go back to the trend of going down, and until we all win on that area. Thank you very much, Chair.